What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm George from Baggers and Brews, and in today's video I'm going to be installing a heated and cooled Harley hammock seat on the Road Glide. If you follow the channel, you know I do most of my riding two-up. In 2018, Stacy and I got the first Road Glide, and shortly after we upgraded to the Harley hammock seat. I still have that same Harley hammock seat that I put on the 21. We've got probably just over 20,000 miles on it, and it was time for an upgrade. Coming back from Daytona, it got super cold. I never thought I'd want a heated seat, and on that ride, I did. So we were planning on just upgrading to a heated seat, and then Stacy and I were going through the Harley website and noticed that they had a Harley hammock that is heated and cooled. So at that point it was a no-brainer, just a matter of time before we sprung for the new seat. So I just picked the seat up today. This is not sponsored. It's not sponsored by any Harley dealer, obviously not sponsored by Harley itself. So let's take a quick look at this seat. You've got a button for the heated and the cooled, and then next to it you have a knob for the rider and a knob for the passenger. Those knobs are individually controlled zones, and that is also what you use to turn it off. So all the way down you can see there is marked off, and obviously all the way, all the way clockwise would be completely on. You can see the underside of the seat as compared with the regular non-heated Harley hammock. There's a lot going on. This seat is a pricey seat. The original Harley hammock retails at $610. This heated and cooled seat is almost twice the price at $1134.95. So it is pricey. We decided to hit the splurge button on it. I had some leftover dealer credit from buying the bike in 21 that I had never used, and had a couple of gift certificates that I scavenged laying around the house. So we decided to take a little splurge, get the heated and cooled seat. First thing we got to do is get the side covers off and get this saddlebag off on the left side of the bike and see what we're dealing with and get this thing installed. First thing I'm going to do is get these two Torx bolts out of here, because I want to be able to route that wire down through the... So, you want to know why we don't throw the directions away? I'll tell you why we don't throw the directions away. Because there's some real fine print at the bottom, even though there's all these diagrams that show you where the accessory plug is. On 17 and later models, the accessory plug is on the opposite side, and it's buried behind a bunch of other wires to find. So here, I'll show you where that's at. Plugged into this little dead port right here, this is the accessory plug. So here's where Harley Davidson gets you. This plug here is the plug that comes from the heated seats. Even though it's long enough to reach, you can see that that is obviously not going to work. So you got to read all of the instructions, because when you find what you actually need, there may be more later. Like here it says 2014 to 2016 models, 2017 and later models, which is what I would assume I have. And it says in 2017 and later models, if another accessory is already using the accessory circuit connector, then you need the Y adapter harness. And then it goes into trike models, and then 2014 to 2016 models again. And at the very bottom it says installation of kit 69201599A is required to locate the accessory connector under the seat, which is still like the wrong wording. I can locate the accessory connector without the actual connector. So, but I'll show you. That connector is here, and that is the only way we're going to get that plug in there. And it's a basically a Y adapter in case you have to plug any additional accessories in there. So on the right side of the bike, not on the left side of the bike, and buried in the instructions. So let's get this connected now. Everything's wired up. I just wanted to make sure everything obviously worked before we button everything back up. and we switched it to heat. Took a few minutes, seat started to get warm, switched it to cool, and right away you can hear this fan kick on. I'm not sure if it's good, you can be able to hear that in camera. But the fan kicks on right away and the heat starts to get cooler. So let me show you what we have as far as the wiring and how I'm going to route it and clean it up. So I wanted the disconnect plug up and above the frame so I can disconnect it without having to take my side cover off. So that disconnect is here. The rest of these wires I fed down on the inside of the frame because I didn't want them coming over the frame, between the frame and the seat, and wearing there. And then the accessory plug is connected here. I did have a blank for the Y adapter portion of the accessory plug, and I'm not sure what accessory will connect to here next. But maybe something. And that's about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this stuff zip tied up in here and fold it up nice so it'll tuck behind the side cover. Simple seat install. 10 minutes, no problem. Really wasn't that bad once I found out where the accessory plug is. Obviously for the 17 and newer, it's on the right hand side of the bike and it's kind of buried and tucked in there. Once you did that, you got the extension cable / splitter that Harley definitely makes sure that you need. Even though you have enough length on that cord off of the seat to make it, you still have to buy this Y adapter splitter / accessory plug. Seat looks great. Looks like a Harley hammock on the seat. They did put a nice little Harley badge on the right side of the bike, which is a nice touch, and obviously the controls are on the left side of the bike. Other than being on the wrong side, I dropped the socket down into the frame. Took me 25 minutes to fish that out. And that's how it goes sometimes. But let's take a look at the seat installed on the bike. Seat looks good. We'll see how it is. We're going to definitely test it out. We got some hot days coming up, so we'll see how it cools. Definitely going to do some cold weather riding this year, so give a full review on the cooling and the heating aspect of the seat, you know, later on after we get some miles on it. And with all those electronics and everything else that's crammed into this seat, also see if it is as comfortable as the standard Harley hammock seat. That's definitely a question I have. There's a lot more stuff crammed up underneath there, so does that affect the comfort, and will you actually feel any of that stuff if you're on the bike for a while? Other than that, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, ring that bell, and we'll catch you in the next one.